Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is August 21st. Could PCA really win the MVP? And what's going on with Marte? Let's talk about it. Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. This is the middle of the order. How are we doing today, ladies and gentlemen? Do we have a big episode for you guys today? We'll try to get through it pretty quickly, as the last couple episodes have been. I've been kind of enjoyed getting them around that 30-minute mark, so we'll aim for that. But again, lots to talk about. A lot happened, and we have a big weekend coming up. So a lot to do, a lot to get into. And with that all being said, let's dive into the series recap. We start with the Oilers at Rays finishing off their 4-game weekend set. Yandy Diaz, Ryan Vilade, and Jorge Mateo all go deep as the Rays avoid the 4-game sweep. They win it 7-6. D-backs and the Red Sox is how we start this week. The Red Sox score at least one run in 6 straight innings. Willson Contreras and Mickey Gasper both homer in an 11-1 Red Sox victory. Adley Rutschman hits his first homer as a Red Sox. Mickey Gasper homers again in a 9-4 Red Sox win. And in the last game, Nick Sogard, his first career MLB home run. Mickey Gasper, his third straight game with a homer. Homers in all 3 games of the series. Lars Nootbaar, his first home run as a D-back. This game is tied. We go to extras. The D-backs score 2. Boston scores 1. Arizona wins it and avoids the sweep. 7-6, the final in 10. Yankees and Oilers now. Trent Grisham homers and comes up with the go-ahead 2-run single to drive in all 3 Yankee runs of this game in a 3-1 win for New York. Ben Rice goes deep in the second game. The Yankees take the lead late with 2 in the 8th, go on to win it 5-3. And in the last game, Luis Garcia Jr., Spencer Jones, they both homer in a 6-1 Yankees win as they sweep Baltimore. Blue Jays at Rays now. Alejandro Kirk, Kazuma Okamoto, and Josh Smith all go deep in a 10-5 Blue Jays victory. A mistake in left field helps the Rays to a 5-run 4th inning. The Jays would score 5 unanswered to make it a 1-run game, but fall a run short in the comeback. Rays hold on 7-6 the final. And in the last game, Kazuma Okamoto homers again, as does Nathan Lucas and Daz Cameron, who hits his first homer of the season and his first as a member of the Blue Jays. In the 5-1 Blue Jays victory, they take the series in the Trop. Giants and Guardians. Joe Adell goes 3 for 4 with a homer and 6 RBIs. That's the offense the Guardians are looking for. An 8-1 victory for Cleveland, but they needed it in Game 2 also. Victor Bercado drives in the only run of this game for the Giants on an RBI single. They win it, win nothing. Where was the offense? We go to the rub match. The Guardians score 3 in the first. There it is. That's already enough for the win, since the only 2 runs for the Giants came on a 2-run shot for Willy Adames, his career homer number 200. Guardians win the series. They take it 5-2 the final. Braves and Twins now. The Twins score all 4 runs in the first inning and ride that to the end of the game in a 4-2 victory. Josh Bell gets a first inning 2-run shot, helping the Twins to a 4-1 victory. And in the last game, Cody Clemens picks up 3 RBIs, including the go-ahead one, which was the difference in a 6-4 Twins win as the Twins sweep the Braves. How about that? A's at Royals now. They played a 4-game set. Bobby Witt Jr. homers and drives in 3 RBIs. 9-5 Kansas City in the opener. Down by 2 in the 9th inning, the Royals come back with a 2-run single from Tyler Tolbert to tie this game up. And then Bobby Witt Jr. walks it off with a single. The Royals win it 4-3. And if you thought that comeback was good, in the 3rd game, the Royals are down 4. They score 7 runs in the 8th inning to flip the script and take another victory, 9-7 the final. And in the last game, Bobby Witt Jr. homers again. The Royals finish off the 4-game sweep of the A's. They win that game 6-2 and on fire. Nationals and Rangers now. Justin Fusque homers for the Rangers in a 5-0 victory. Jose Tena and Andreas Chaparro both homer in a 6-0 Nationals win. And then Corey Seager homers as all 3 games end in the shutout. 2-0 Rangers, the final. In that one, they take the series. Angels and Astros, Josh Lowe homers as the Angels win the opener 3-1. Christian Vasquez goes deep in the second game. The Astros score 2 in the fourth for the lead. They win it 3-2. But in the last game, it's the Angels that tee off on the Astros. They blow it open. Zach Neto leading the way, going 5 for 6 with a homer and 7 RBIs. The Angels with an 18-3 victory take the series. Padres and Mets now. The Mets score 2 in their first, and their pitching holds the Padres to 1 run. The Mets with a 2-1 victory. But how about Fernando Tatis Jr.? He leads off the second game with a homer, then robs Francisco Lindor of a go-ahead grand slam, and then comes back and homers again. A 2-homer game, robbing of the grand slam. Padres with a 5-2 victory, but the Mets win the road match. Carson Bench, the 2-run homer. They take a 4-2 victory and the series from San Diego. Marlins and Phillies. A bad umpiring call goes the Phillies' way and has Miami furious, as it kind of cost them the game. They fall a run short in this back and forth affair, 6-5. The Phillies then come back in the second game with 4 runs in the 6th inning. They flip the script and win it 6-4. And in the last game, Luis Arias, the 2-run homer. That's the difference in this one. Phillies with a 4-1 victory sweep the Marlins and get 3 games against the Braves since they were swept by the Twins. Cardinals and Reds now. They played a 5-game set thanks to a makeup from May 24th. So a doubleheader on Monday, and it starts with Alec Burleson getting a 2-run double in the first, which was enough for the Cardinals, as Dane Myers' homer is the only Reds run. They win it 2-1. And speaking of Dane Myers, he homers again on the day, 1 in each game. But this one in the second game tied it in the 9th for the Reds. That brought us to extras, where Eddie De La Cruz gets the walk-off double. The Reds with a 6-5 victory in 10. Game 3 goes the Cardinals' way as Mason Wynn goes deep in a 3-0 Cardinals victory. But Game 4, it's Sal Stewart who hits the big go-ahead 3-run homer in the 6th inning. The Reds had 2 insurance runs in the 8th, which was big because Jordan Walker hit a 2-run homer in the 9th. So those runs all cancel out as the Reds hold on to the 5-4 victory. We go to the road match in this 5-game set. Jordan Walker homers again to put the Cardinals up by 4. Matt McLain goes ahead and hits a go-ahead grand slam in the 6th. The Reds take the lead on a 5-run inning, that one is. They were 1 out away, but a ball hit to left center is dropped by Dane Myers. That goes on for the Cardinals to allow them to score 6 runs in the 9th inning. The Reds, though, they're clawed back in the bottom of the 9th. They score 4 runs in the inning, but can't get that 5th run to tie it. The Cardinals hang on to this wild one and win the 5-game set. They take the third game, 10-9 Cardinals. They take that series. Mariners and Brewers now. 5 runs in the 5th, 5 runs in the 6th, 9 runs in the 8th. Yes, off a position player, but still. Yelich homers, David Hamilton homers, Jake Bauers homers, Luis Lara hits his first career MLB home run. Yes, off a position player, but still counts just the same. The Brewers, a historic shutout win in this series, 22-0. And after that shit show, the Mariners open it up with 7 runs in the first 2 innings. That's enough for the win. They hold on to a 7-5 victory. And then the Brewers score 6 runs in the first inning. They go on to win this game, win this wild and weird series. 7-4 the Brewers. They take 2 of 3 from the Mariners. Tigers and Pirates now. Kevin McGonigal homers as the Tigers score 5 unanswered, leading them to an 8-5 victory. O'Neal Cruz, a go-ahead 2-run homer in the 5th, helps the Pirates to a 4-1 victory. And in the road match, Rafael Flores Jr. homers in the 7th to make it a 1-run game. He then homers again in the 9th to tie it, and a batter or 2 later, Brandon Lau with the walk-off home run wins it for the Pirates. 4-3 the final. They take 2 of 3 from the Tigers. White Sox and Cubs now. PCA and Suzuki open this game up with back-to-back homers to lead it off. The White Sox, take the lead. The Cubs tie it in the 9th. We go to extras where it's PCA who ends it with a walk-off home run. The Cubs win it 7-5 in 10. PCA then hits another leadoff home run in the second game. Michael Busch homers in the inning as well. The White Sox take the lead with 3 runs. Cubs tie it in the 7th, and it's Alex Bregman with the walk-off single in the 9th. Back-to-back nights with a walk-off victory for the Cubs. Very similar feeling nights in this one. 4-3 the final, and in the last game, Braden Montgomery, the 2-run double in the 8th, helps put this one away. 3-0 White Sox the final. They avoid the sweep. Dodgers and Rockies now. Shohei Ohtani, a 2-homer game. Max Muncy goes deep as well. Dodgers with an 11-5 victory in the opener. Game 2, it's Shohei again, his 30th of this season. The Dodgers hold on to the late Rockies rally. 7-6 the final, and in the last game, Mookie Betts, Kike Hernandez, they both go deep. The Rockies come back, tie it. We go to extras where the Dodgers score 2 in the 10th and hold the Rockies. They get the sweep 6-4 in 10. That was the last game of the series for the week. But the Braves and White Sox played a makeup game from June 11th. The White Sox took the first 2 games of the series, but the Braves get this one 2-0 the final. Austin Riley drives in both runs in this game. They avoid the sweep with that 2-0 victory, and that's your series recap. All right, now let's get to the games of the week. Yes, games of the week. There's 3 that were so dang good. We got to talk about it. And it starts in Cincinnati, the Cardinals and the Reds, the 5th game of the series, the final game here. Cardinals 1-2, Reds 1-2. This decided it all. And it starts in the top of the first where Jordan Walker, he grounds out, but a run comes in to score. It's 1-0. Later in the top of the third, he picks up a 3-run homer. His 26th of the season, is second in back-to-back nights. Cardinals with an early 4-0 victory. We go to the bottom of the 6th where J.J. Leday picks up the RBI single to get the Reds on the board, and then Matt McLain with his 12th homer of the season. It's a go-ahead grand slam to put the Reds from down 4 entering the inning to up 1 as they exit the inning. We then go to the top of the 9th where the Reds are just 1 out away. J.J. Weatherholt hits it to left center. Friedel's there, but Dane Myers comes over. He makes the attempt to catch the ball, but it's in and out of the glove. It drops. 2-run score. The Cardinals take a 6-5 lead, and thanks to that error, they're not done. Alec Burleson, the RBI single. Then with the bases loaded, Joshua Baez walks in a run. Jose Fermin then drives in the 2-run single as the Cardinals score 6 runs in the 9th. They're up by 5, but we go bottom 9th, and it's the Reds who put together a little something. Eugenio Suarez, the RBI single. It's 10-6. Sal Stewart then rips a 2-run single. It's 10-8. With the bases loaded, Tyler Stevenson walks. The winning run is at second base, but the Cardinals shut it down. They hold on to a 10-0 victory, which saw 10 runs total in the 9th inning. All Dane Myers had to do was let TJ Friedel catch this ball, but he runs over, he drops it. Cardinals score 6, 10-9 the final. They take the series. That's the first game of the week. We then go to the Tigers and Pirates. Now this game, man, this one was fun towards the end of it as well. It starts in the bottom of the first. O'Neal Cruz, the RBI single, puts Pittsburgh up early. Top 3, Kevin McGonigal, continuing his fantastic rookie campaign, picks up the sac fly to tie this game up 1-1. Top 5, Gleyber Torres, an RBI single, and then Kevin McGonigal rips an RBI double, and that makes it 3-1 Detroit on the 2-run inning. Bottom 7th, Pirates got a pinch hitter, Rafael Flores Jr., and he connects his 5th homer of the season. The Pirates are within 1. He comes up again in the bottom of the 9th and does it again. His 6th of the season, ties this game up off of Kenley Jansen. Horwitz gets out, and then Brandon Lau hits the walk-off home run, his 27th of the season. The Pirates with a 4-3 victory. This was in their 3rd game of the series. They win the series thanks to these 2 homers in the 9th. What a game that was. Not part of the games of the week, but also want to shout out that Royals 7-run inning to come back. But I mean, this game between the White Sox and the Cubs to open up this series. PCA launches his 29th homer of the season. A leadoff shot gets them on the board. Seiya Suzuka is right behind him with his 22nd of the season. Back-to-back homers has the Cubs up and running early. But top of the fourth, it's a 3-run homer for Randal Grichuk to get the White Sox in the lead 3-2. Bottom five, Nico Hoerner flips the script. It's a 2-run single as well as a throwing error by Miguel Vargas. The Cubs now up 4-3. We go top of the eighth where it's Andrew Benintendi with the 2-run homer. His 13th of the season puts the White Sox back in front. 5-4 is the score. Going into the ninth inning, Nico Hoerner delivers again with the RBI single, ties this game up at 5. We go into extras, and it's PCA who hits his 30th homer of the season. He joins the 30-30 club for the second year in a row. The walk-off bomb leads the Cubs to a 7-5 victory. They went on to win 2 of 3 against the White Sox. He went on to then homer again in the second game. And that kind of brings us to the first bit of baseball news here, and that's PCA is really making a case for the NL MVP. Again, he goes 30 for 30, hitting that walk-off home run, his second straight year doing so. Little fun fact about that, he's the first player since 1957 to hit the first team pitch out for a home run and then hit the last team pitch out for a home run. He homered it to lead it off in the first inning and then homered to walk it off in the last inning, in that 10th inning then. And then again, goes back to hit another leadoff home run in the next game. It was really funny kind of because in that game where he hits the 2 homers, Shohei Ohtani hit 2 homers for the Dodgers, and then he hits a homer again in game 2, and Ohtani also homered. They both had 3 homers over the week here. PCA has had a fantastic season. He's got a 7.8 WAR, 136 hits, 31 homers, a 279 batting average, 90 runs, 79 RBIs. He's been phenomenal. And when you look and compare the more flashy moments of the season, PCA has definitely had the bigger home runs, the more clutch base running, the amazing diving catches out there in center. He's been doing it all season long. When you put his stats next to Ohtani's stats, his WAR 7.8, Ohtani's WAR 6.8. The hits, PCA has 3 more hits. The homers, PCA has 1 extra homer. He's at 31, Ohtani's at 30. RBIs, Ohtani has 80 RBIs. PCA has 79. Stolen bases, he's at 31, while Ohtani's at 7. All the slashing numbers, though, favor Ohtani. Batting average is 291 to PCA's 279. On base, 388 to his 378. Slugging, 554 to his 550. OPS 942 to his 928. But it's such a neck and neck race between these two when you look at the hitting numbers. However, you have to remember that Ohtani at the beginning of the season was pitching, and not only was he was pitching very well. He made 14 starts for the Dodgers. He was 8-2 in those starts. He had a 1.79 ERA before getting shut down. If the season ended today, I still think Ohtani wins the MVP. However, PCA is doing a phenomenal job at keeping it close, and if he goes off and has a fantastic September offensively and Ohtani cools off a little bit, we may see PCA take the NL MVP over Shohei Ohtani. I think some voters will have a little bit of Ohtani fatigue. I mean, no one wants to admit it, but that definitely happens in sports, happens in basketball, happens in hockey, happens in football. Like, name the sport. When someone's doing so good for so long and just you have the slightest competition where it's kind of close, some people will jump ship because they want to see other people win awards. I believe that's the case here. So, right now, if the season ended, I wouldn't be surprised if PCA somehow won the MVP. I think he's doing a fantastic job at coming back at Ohtani and is making the NL MVP race kind of interesting and kind of entertaining, but I think it's going to end up with Ohtani still winning it. However, I'm cheering for PCA. I hope he continues to keep playing this fantastic brand of baseball that he's playing, and that he can help take the MVP away from Shohei. That would certainly be quite the season for him. Moving on now with more baseball news. Let's talk Ketel Marte, because his situation right now is a bit of a mystery. If you don't know what's going on with him, here is the story. He went with his team to Boston. He was at the hotel on the Sunday night. Of course, they finished off the series. He got banged up on the Friday game, did not play on Saturday with his knee injury. But then did play on the Sunday, flies to the hotel with the team. They're in Boston ready for the series. But come Monday, Fenway Park, he's not there. Nobody knows where he is. It's a bit of a mystery, and it's, gotten people freaked out. The team's obviously freaked out. No one knows what's going on. They went on to have a shit game. They lost 11-1. The D-backs, just before that game, they placed him on the restricted list. The manager comes out, Torey Lovullo, with the comments of, you just love him and I care for him. And they have a nice relationship there. Ketel Marte, he recently signed that 5-year, 6-year extension, I think, for like $160 million. It's a team-friendly deal, really good one, helps them out a lot. He's got a player option in 2031. So it's an interesting case here. And yeah, we just don't know. Apparently, coming off of then Tuesday, Wednesday, at some point in the night, when they were in Boston, he flew back to Arizona to get an MRI on his knee injury. There was just little clarification. It wasn't only that, though. He also had been dealing with a personal injury. That's what his agent came out to say, is that he'd been dealing with a personal injury and just all this stuff. So he's dealing with a personal injury, or not a personal injury, sorry, personal matter, getting the MRI on his knee. No one knows what's going on. His agent himself, the manager, as well as the general manager, then have a little meeting. They kind of iron out things, because I feel like this whole thing was just a lot of lack of communication and not sure what's going on. And everything is fine now, I guess. He's been placed on the 10-day IL for his knee injury. This also gives him time to work on his personal matter that he's managing, and obviously, his agent's statement and his comments basically said that Ketel appreciates the support from the fans, his teammates, the Diamondbacks organization, as well as Torey Lovullo. It is interesting, and it is something to note that also last year, during the first year of his extension with the Diamondbacks, he had a similar thing happen where he didn't show up for a couple of the games. This happened after the All-Star break last season, where during the All-Star break, his home was broken into. And, that at that point, he then went away back to his DR home and missed 3 games. His teammates were not happy with his no-shows. It was kind of an interesting thing. He explained that he was frustrated. He was in a bad spot after the burglarization. And then all of this is happening. The Diamondbacks put him on the trade block during the offseason last year. And again, this is a superstar talented second baseman on a team-friendly deal for the next 5 seasons up until 2030, and then potentially 2031 if his player option is exempted, which is $13 million. But yeah, the whole situation was just really weird. Hopefully everything's okay with Marte. And obviously Arizona, I'm sure fans are in a little bit of a limbo, stage. But that's the situation which we now have more clarity on and clarity over as he goes from the restricted list to the IL, getting the knee MRI, and then as well as managing his personal life. So hopefully everything is okay. Hopefully his teammates are, not too pissed at him, because again, it's a really weird situation where it's like, hey, it's game time. You're in the lineup 10 minutes before the game. Now we got to pencil you out. You're off the team on the restricted list because nobody knows where you are. Nobody, you don't think he told anyone that he was going back to Arizona, and who knows what the personal issue was. But I digress. That's the situation there. We move on to Shutout Jacob DeGrom. He struck out 2,000 batters in his career, the 95th pitcher in history to do so. Not only was he the 95th pitcher, he is the fastest right-handed pitcher to get to this milestone. He is second in innings pitched, but just behind Chris Sale. So the second fastest player in history of those 95 guys to reach the 2K career strikeouts. Not only is this cool for him, but it's also cool that we've had this happen so many times this season. He's the 4th player this year, joining Kevin Gausman, Sonny Gray, Aaron Nola, and now himself. And he might not even be the last one. Currently, Zach Wheeler is sitting 36 strikeouts away So Zach Wheeler is going to be the 96th player to do so. I can guarantee you that. Whether it happens at the end of this year or early next year, we'll have to see. But it'd be very interesting if we see 5 pitchers reach this 2,000 career strikeouts milestone. So shout out Jacob DeGrom. Shout out all the guys who have been shouted out all season long. As I said, this is the 4th time we've had this, which is a pretty cool milestone. 2,000 kind of seems like it's the new 3,000 because obviously Scherzer and Verlander, they're the last of the dying breed of pitchers. You're not seeing as many guys do that, so that's the situation there. Let's give a little love to the Brewers, who tied the record set in 1888 for the largest shutout in MLB history. They beat the Mariners 22-0, an absolute ass whooping from the Brewers handed to the Mariners to tie MLB history. That's not history you want to be a part of if you are Seattle. It's history you'd love to be a part of if you are Milwaukee. Nothing much else to say about that. Just wanted to shout out that really quickly. And then let's give a quick love to the AL wildcard, because in the span of this week, basically 6 days, we've had 4 different teams be in that 3rd AL wildcard spot. The Minnesota Twins, the Detroit Tigers, the Baltimore Orioles, and the Texas Rangers have all ended a day as that 3rd wildcard spot. The Blue Jays have been either a half a game or a game back all week long. So this 7-team race is very, very interesting. Cleveland and Seattle right now slipping away just briefly, but it's still like right now the Twins are in that 3rd wildcard spot because they swept the Braves. And that's what it takes. All it takes is for you to sweep a team and you can be in the wildcard spot. That's how tight this AL wildcard race is. We're going to be watching this pretty much for the next, 30 plus games, however many games are left in the season. It's like 32, 33 for some teams. Basically a month still that we'll be watching this AL wildcard race. We'll see what happens and who takes advantage of it, but it's definitely an entertaining series to keep going. So shout out the AL wildcard. Let's get into the injury updates from the week. Short list here. Edwin Diaz from the Dodgers placed on the 15-day IL with neck inflammation. That one's a little interesting because he hasn't been good this season, so maybe a little phantom there. Victor Mesa Jr. on the 10-day IL with a strained hamstring. Rhys Hoskins on the 10-day IL with lower back inflammation. Jorge Polanco on the 10-day IL with ankle surgery. That one might be good for the Mets. He's been not good this season. And then, as I mentioned, Ketel Marte, 10-day IL. He's got knee inflammation. Hopefully, we'll be back with the team soon, healthy and ready to roll. That brings us to our outstanding performances from the week. There were some good ones, including Cal Quantrill, who went 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs, no walks, while striking out 5. George Klassen, 7 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 3 walks, and 7 Ks for the Angels, his 5th career game. Shout out Braxton Ashcraft, who's been so good for the Pirates recently, taking over for Paul Skeens, who's been nowhere. 8 innings, 5 hits, a run, no walks. Run, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. Parker Messick, 6 2/3, 6 innings, 1 earned run, no walks, and 10 strikeouts. Did get the loss because his team couldn't score a single run. Cade Cavalli continues his great season, 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, a walk, and 11 strikeouts. Aaron Nola, 7 innings, 5 hits, a run, no walks, 8 Ks. Jose Urquidy comes out of the pen and goes 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and 8 Ks. That would have been a great start, but even out of the pen is phenomenal. Grant Holmes, 6 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 3 walks, 3 Ks. And then Garrett Cole, 6 innings, 4 hits, a run, a walk, 8 strikeouts. Shane Bieber, 7 innings, 4 hits, a run, no walks, 7 strikeouts. Grayson Rodriguez, 7 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 6 Ks. And then Jacob DeGrom, he was vintage, 6 innings, 1 hit, no runs, a walk, and 10 strikeouts, including his 2,000th of his career. That now brings us to our stat leaderboard here, and there is a few changes, including average. It is no longer Yordan Alvarez. It's Yordan Alvarez and Luis Arias. They are tied at a 319 average. For hits, it is no longer Otto Lopez. Luis Arias has taken him over. He's at 155. Schwarber still leads in homers at 37. No more CJ Abrams for RBIs. It's Sal Stewart coming off a big week against the Cardinals. He's got 96 now, 4 away from being the first player to 100 RBIs on the season. James Wood still with 100 runs. He leads that. No longer leads in walks, though. It's Bryce Harper, who now has 91. Nazman Nunez still at 40 stolen bases. I don't feel like he's stolen the base the last 2 weeks. I feel like that number stayed the same. OPS, Jordan Alvarez, of course, leads the way, 1.045. That number drops a little bit. Christopher Sanchez still leading in wins. He's now up to 16. Jacob Mizorowski still leading in ERA. His thing drops 1, so he goes from 1.76 to 1.75. His strikeouts, he's up to 210. And then Brian Baker still leads with 36 saves there. That brings us to our upcoming series. And what makes this weekend so special is that it's Players Weekend. And yes, it's not as good as the player weekend before COVID, but it is still an enjoyable week for the players, or enjoyable weekend for the players. We get to have some nice stories about them. They get to wear the special cleats and use their special bats, and they have those weird hats. And it's a weekend that's fun, not as fun as it was with the nicknames and the different colored jerseys and all that, but still really cool for that. The Giants are in Boston to take on the Red Sox. Blue Jays at Yankees, Rays at Baltimore. These 4 AL East teams have been back and forth all week long. It went Blue Jays, Yankees, and then Rays, Baltimore. Then it went Blue Jays, Rays, Yankees, Baltimore, and now it's back to Blue Jays, Yankees, Rays, Baltimore. So these 4 teams having some fun there. The Mets taking on the White Sox. The Tigers taking on the Royals. The Cubs will take on the Mariners, and the Mariners are calling up MLB's number 5th prospect overall, Cade Anderson. He will make his Major League debut on Saturday. Cool for him and the Mariners, trying to spark up that team. Angels will play the Rangers, while the A's are in Houston to take on the Astros. Nationals at Marlins. Cardinals at Phillies. The Braves and the Brewers, they've got the Sunday, the 2026 Little League Classic game will be held by the Braves and Brewers, so watch out for that. The Pirates will be taking on the Dodgers in LA. Reds at Diamondbacks. The Guardians at the Rockies, and the Twins are taking on the Padres. Go San Diego. Go. That brings us now to the playoff predictor. If the season ended today, who's winning it all? As I mentioned, the Twins are the current occupant of the 6th seed. They would be taking on the Astros in the 3 seed. Red Sox, the 5 seed, Yankees at the 4 seed. It's seeming very, very likely we'll have an AL wildcard rematch this year between those 2 teams. Astros beat the Twins. Yankees beat the Red Sox. So we have an Astros at White Sox, who are the 2 seed, while the Yankees take on the Rays, who are the 1 seed. And there's those wild card teams that say hot. Astros beat the White Sox. Yankees beat the Rays. So you have a Yankees-Astros ALCS. Boy, what a series this would be. The Astros, though, beat the Yankees. They head to the World Series. On the NL side of things, the Padres are your 6th seed. The Braves are your 3 seed. After getting swept, they're no longer the 2 seed. Phillies, the 5 seed. The Cubs are the 4 seed. Phillies had a great week as well, getting the sweep. They beat the Cubs. They've won 6 in a row, actually. So shout out to Phillies. Padres beat the Braves. So your NLDS matchups: Padres at the Dodgers, who are the 2 seed. Phillies at the Brewers, who are the 1 seed. This is a great NLDS matchup. The Padres, little brother up against the Dodgers. They hand them the victory. Phillies beat the Brewers. So hey, the 1 and 2 seeds not doing it this time around. Padres at Phillies for your NLCS matchup. I feel like we've had that recently as well. Padres get the revenge. They get the win. They head to the World Series. It's a Padres and Astros World Series matchup, and it is your Houston Astros that are your 2026 World Series champions if the season ended today. Ladies and gentlemen, what ends right now is our episode. I appreciate you all a little bit longer, but still around that 30-minute mark. But yeah, a lot we went over. The PCA for MVP, the Marte situation. Pick your team, pick your horse for the AL wildcard. You basically got 7 teams to choose from. So you can't go wrong. Pick a horse and see how they'll handle the rest of the season. We're getting close to the end of the month, close to the end of this season, and still nobody's clinching, although those magic numbers are getting lower and lower. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you everybody so much, and I will see you on Monday.